Are we back? Brighton have never won a major trophy in their history. That's about to change today. 5 years. The goal is to win the Premier League and the Champions League. And there's another goal as well. Evan Ferguson, not too long ago, a few years back, he was deemed to be a wonder kid. Had a few struggles since then, injuries, loaned out. Our other goal is to make sure Evan Ferguson wins the Premier League Golden Boot and Premier League Player of the Season. If you enjoy this video, please make sure you like and subscribe. Let's get into it. Of course, in real life, Danny Welbeck has left Brighton, joined Chelsea and left the club. So that will allow Evan Ferguson really to become the main guy as Danny Welbeck departs. And then, of course, once again, in real life, Vuskovic has arrived in from Spurs. So he'll be coming in and being a new starting centre-back that hopefully can develop into a world beater for us. So here is what the team is looking like in season one. Here are the subs, and you can look at the reserves as well. Now I'm looking at squad here as a whole, and season one, short term, we might have a hard time. There's a lot of improvement needed to be made. In season one, we might not make too many new signings as we want to keep it as realistic as possible. We're going to push through this season. Hopefully our players can develop, etc. So here is the transfer history. Osman on loan. Rego left on loan. Julio we have sold. Cashin we sold. Costellas we loaned. Beadle we sold. Sarmiento we sold. Watson in real life loaned. Johanna we loaned. Yalkue we loaned. Rushworth we sold. And of course our only signing, Vuskovic, coming in. Here is the main man. Going to be a massive part of this save. We're going to focus, of course, like I said, on making sure he wins the Golden Boot and the Premier League. He'll be our starting striker for the whole way through. Currently looking 76 rated. He's obviously 6'2", 21 years of age. A pace 71, shooting 79. That's the two most important attributes. Of course, physical as well, being 75 and dribbling 74. Hopefully, we can see him develop very quickly and he can show and become that wonder kid, that world-class player, rather, that we all thought he could have been back in the day. So as for the team, Ferguson, Matoma, Ruta, Minter, Baleba, Ayari, Dunk, Vuskovic, Costinha, De Kuiper, and Verbruggen. The bench, Hinshelwood, Gomez, Verboda, Kadiogo, O'Reilly, Steele, Straight, Vifa, and Gross. Two players on the reserves there as well. I'm looking at this team as a whole, and I think, personally, season one could be a struggle. I'm going to say just try and get top 10. We have reached the end of season one, and oh my days. I said top 10 being, you know, kind of pessimistic. We finished 16th. 2 places above Hull, who were relegated at 18th. I mean, we were 16 points clear, but we had a 40-point season, which is very concerning. Now, I know I only brought in Vuskovic, of course, who was the real life sign, and maybe I should have made a couple more signings. But that is a horrendous first season. I didn't expect Europe, but I would have liked top 10. This is a bit of a concern, I won't lie to you. As for the FA Cup, Everton win the FA Cup 2-0, and then the Carabao Cup, Arsenal beat Chelsea 2-0. Looking at the player stats, the main guy, Evan Ferguson, got 18 goals, 1 assist. Matoma got 11, 7 assists. Ayari got 10 goals. Minter got 5 goals. Ruta got himself 5 goals. Matoma topped the assists with 7. Minter with 6. Ruta got 5. De Kuiper got 4. And Baleba got 2. Here we are. Take a look at Evan Ferguson. Wow, he's improved a lot. He's gone up +5, 75 pace, 85 shooting, 77 physical, improving massively already. His shooting has got so much better. He's going to keep developing as he's only 22 years of age, and hopefully we can see him win the Premier League Player of the Season and Golden Boot at some point in the future. And hopefully he can win us the Prem and Champions League as well. Okay, so I'm looking at this team here in the season one, and there's definitely a lot of improvements we can make, having just finished 16th in the league. The first thing I'm thinking we might need 2 new wingers, back up, and hopefully one can be a starter. Looking for potentially a new starting number 10. I also think a new starting centre-back is needed, and then we need a better backup to Verbruggen in net. So we could be making 4 or 5 signings in season 2, as we hope to improve a lot after just finishing 16th. The first signing we brought in is a 10, but an unselfish 10 who hopefully can focus on creating for Evan Ferguson and not shooting and scoring as much. That is Paul Wanner coming in from PSV. Young 10 coming in to start instantly and hopefully can become a world beater for us long term. And then following Paul Wanner is a young centre-back, Jelch. He'll come in, he'll start ahead of Strike next to Vuskovic, and hopefully they can form an elite centre-back partnership, short-term and long-term, as he is one that can develop very quickly. And then the player coming in after Jelch is Oduru. He's coming in as the backup keeper to Verbruggen. He's young, he can develop, he should become a solid backup, and he should be our backup keeper for the next 4 seasons. Signing number 4 is an elite winger who will come in and start and hopefully become one of the best players at the team. Mika Götze coming in from Ajax. He cost us 40 million. He'll start in that left wing spot as Matoma drops to the bench, and hopefully he can become, like I said, the best player or one of at the club. Then the last and final signing is Jaden Philogene, who will come in. He'll start off as a backup winger, probably, potentially can become a star in the future. We will see what happens with him, but he's just coming in to help that attacking depth, which was something we definitely lacked in season 1. Transfer history, Tom Watson we loaned again. Philogene, of course, we brought in. Gruder we sold for 30 million. We brought in Gotts for 40. O'Reilly we sold. Vanna we brought in Aduru, and we also brought in Jelch. And this is how the team looks at the start of season 2. Ferguson up top, Gotts, Wanna, Minter, Baleba, Ayari, Struijk, Vuskovic, Castilla, Kadlioglu, and Verbruggen in net. Here is the bench, and I think this team's a lot better. Looking at this team, I'm very confident that we can get top 8 this season. I think top 8 with this team is very reasonable. The players developing throughout the season, Minter, Gotts and Ferguson, hopefully should all be very good come the end of season 2. We're about to simulate season 2, and the aim, and hopefully we get it, is top 8. I've reached the end of season 2, and it's a very underwhelming season once again. We wanted top 8. We finished 9 points off it as we finished 11th in our second season with Brighton. We've got 3 more seasons to go, with the goal being to win the Premier League and Champions League, and currently as it stands, we are just miles off it. Sunderland have won the FA Cup, and Aston Villa beat Arsenal 2-0 in the Carabao Cup final. And as for the player stats, Evan Ferguson continues to get better, 23 goals, Gotts got 13, Minter with 9, Matoma 6, Ayari with 5. And then if you look at the assists, Minter got 8, Gotts with 8, Ayari 7, Watson on loan. Ferguson is the main focus, 23 goals, all comps, 18 in the league. We of course want to win the Prem Player of the Season with him and the Golden Boot, and he's developing into doing just that potentially in the future. If we take a look at the Prem Golden Boot race, as you can see, he's not in the top 5, but if we scroll down a bit, you'll see he is 6th with 18 goals. Hopefully he can push on, improve, and inevitably make that top spot and get the Golden Boot. But with Haaland in the league, that's going to be very tough to do. And here is what the squad is looking like at the end of season 2. It's looking a lot better. Gotts 85, Ferguson 84, Minter's got better, Wanna's got better, everyone's getting better, right? Vuskovic 86 rated. I'm looking at this team here, and there's definite improvements we can make, but right now this team looks good. How this team's finished 11th is confusing to me. Now, in terms of additions that I think we could make in season 3, you might think I'm crazy as we just finished 11th, but part of me wants to only make one sign-in, save that rest of the money for potentially season 4, as I believe we can make Europe with just one more addition, being a new young right back. And with that, with the players developing continuously, I do think we could have a pretty solid season 3. So going into season 3, I think we'll only maybe make 1 or potentially 2 new signings to this team. And here he is, our new young right back coming in. He will start, hopefully can develop over the next 3 seasons and become a world-class player. We're actually bringing him in from Olympique Marseille. He'll come in, like I said, start over Kadlioglu. Kadlioglu will be that backup. He could be the backup left back now, but Rico Lewis will be the only signing we make as he comes in as our new starting right back. Here is our transfer history for season 2. Literally only 2 deals done. We sell Ibrahim Osman to Aston Villa and bring in Rico Lewis. So here is the team at the start of season 3. We have Ferguson, Gotts, Minter, Wanna, Ayari, Baleba, Vuskovic, Jelch, De Kuiper, Lewis, and Verbruggen. If you take a look at the bench here, the bench is looking a lot better, and even the reserves, you have some pretty decent players in the reserves as well. It's quite a stacked squad. Now, if I'm looking at this 11 here, for me, this 11 can make Europe. It can definitely get top 8, top 7. Don't see why I can't get Europe, as the players will develop, like I said, throughout the season. So in season 3, the goal is hopefully to see Ferguson develop even more, and praying and hoping that this team is able to qualify for Europe as we simulate season 3. And here we are at the end of season 3, and this team has finally managed to achieve one of my goals. In fact, they've exceeded it. I just wanted Europe. We've managed to get 4th. We were 2 points off second. An unbelievable season. That one signing Rico Lewis and keeping the rest of the team has worked out for us, as we managed to go from 11th to 4th with just one new signing and the rest of the team developing. This is a very, very, very positive outcome, as we of course want to win the Champions League within 5 seasons. So qualifying already for season 4 is very positive. It gets even better as we have won Brighton's first ever major trophy. We have won the Emirates FA Cup, beating Newcastle 2-1. Very, very positive. We've won a trophy in season 3, which is quicker than I expected. I didn't really expect us to win a trophy this fast. So we've managed to qualify for the Champions League, and we've also already managed to win Brighton a trophy, being the FA Cup. And as for the Carabao Cup, Man City beat Arsenal 1-0. Taking a look at the player stats, Ferguson got 24 goals, developing even more. Gotts 19, Minter 13, Wanna 10. Baleba got 5. Watson doing pretty good out on loan as well, as you can see. Gotts got 11 assists. Wanna got 6. Jelch got 4. Minter got 4. And Evan Ferguson got 4 assists. If we focus on Ferguson again, he's now up to 87 rated, age 24. At the end of season 3, he hasn't got as many goals in the league, but he got more in all comps. He got 17 in the league, 2 assists in the league, 24 goals all comps. He keeps getting better. Hopefully, we are soon to see him win the Golden Boot, but I don't think it will be this season. And if we look at the Golden Boot race, as we keep scrolling down, he's just nowhere to be seen. I believe he has finished 13th in the Golden Boot race with his teammate Mika Götze outscoring him in the league. Hopefully next season we can see a rise, but being 13th in the Golden Boot race with 17 goals is ridiculous, and a ridiculous amount of Premier players there having a very, very good seasons. Looking at this squad here, going into season 4, it's looking like a very, very good team, and I think now when it comes to improving this team, we need to bring in instant starters that will come and develop the team straight away, as we don't really need depth, as our depth is solid. So I'm looking at this and I'm thinking a new starting left back and have the Kuiper as backup. And then also potentially a new starting defensive midfielder who's 86 plus rated. Same with the left back that can just come in and take this team to that next level as we've qualified for Champions League. But we're going to need a big budget to do so. Right, so going into season 4, like I just said, we needed a big budget. Will the board do that? As so far we haven't had the most amount of money given to us. Yes, they have. We have been given 187 million to spend. Now, part of me in my head logically thinks I don't want to spend all of that. Season 4, maybe we leave some left over, and then season 5, we've got even more to splash the cash in that last season if we need to push for both competitions. But like I said, very likely we'll be bringing in 2 new key starters. First player we have brought in is Jorel Hato, coming in as a new starting left back. He's a big improvement on De Kuiper. He could definitely still develop and by season 5 become an even better player. He'll be a massive improvement, very solid defensively, of course. He can also play centre back, so he offers that versatility. It's a big upgrade, something we desperately needed going into season 4. And then following him is an upgrade, like I said, on that midfield, a new starting DM, Prem experienced player, Boubacar Kamara. He comes in, he's an improvement, either Ayari or Baleba, whoever we decide to drop to the bench. He'll come in, be an instant starter for us, Kamara, improve us massively, and hopefully with these 2 new additions, they can make a big impact on the team being even better in season 4. Here is a transfer history. We sold Kadliogu, brought in Kamara, and we brought in Hato for a combined 138 mil. As for the 11 in season 4, Ferguson is our striker. Minter is outright with Götze out left. Wana, Kamara and Baleba is the midfield 3. Jelch and Vuskovic, a centre-back partnership with Rico Lewis and Jorel Hato being our fullbacks, and Verbruggen in net. Here is what the bench is currently looking like. It's looking very stacked, very strong bench. Even the reserves, we've got some pretty good players as well. Now I'm looking at this team, considering we finished 4th last season, definitely want to get top 4. But I don't see why we can't, with the players developing even more throughout the season, why we can't potentially sneakily push for the title. So we're going to sim season 4 here. The goal is just to make sure we get top 4 again, but I'm hoping we're able to see ourselves win the league in season 4. Right, so we've reached the end of season 4. We don't win the league. We finished 10 points off it, but we did do better than last season, and we do get top 4 again. So I'm happy with that, as that means in season 5 we will still be in the Champions League. We were 1 point off Liverpool, 3 off Arsenal, who were 3rd and 2nd. Ultimately, I expected that this season with the 2 new additions and players getting even better. Hoping that we could have won the league. We weren't quite able to, but top 4 we'll take. In the FA Cup, there were surprise winners there. Sheffield United beat Aston Villa 1-0 in the FA Cup final, and then Arsenal win the Carabao Cup, beating Liverpool. Anyone wondering, we didn't do well in the Champions League at all. In fact, we did so bad, I don't even have anyone wondering about how we did in the Champions League, I don't really want to talk about it, but just to let you know quickly, we didn't even make the top 24. We got knocked out in the group stages, so in season 5, we're going to need to do a lot better than that, for certain. Looking at the player stats, Evan Ferguson getting even better once again, 26 goals, 89 rated now at the end of season 4. And then if you look at Minter got 23 goals, Mika Götze got 21 goals, and then it's a big drop off after that with De Kuiper, who got 8. And then, Paul Wana, who then got himself 7 goals. In terms of assists, Mika Götze got himself 17 assists. Following that was Minter with 13. Wana got 11. We'd like more from him, I can't lie. But Baleba managed to get himself 9. And Evan Ferguson, our main guy, got himself 6. Once again, taking a look at Ferguson's stats in detail, he's managed to get his best Premier League scoring season so far, and at all comps, of course. He got 20 goals in the league, 4 assists. Potentially could be good enough to have won the Premier League Player of the Season. I don't think it will be, but it's a very good season. 89 rated, keeps improving. We're going to find out, go to the Premier League ceremony and find out who's won it. Hopefully, fingers crossed, it's Ferguson. Here we are at the Premier League ceremony. Player of the season. Is it going to be Ferguson? Nope. It's going to be João Pedro. We thought that was Ferguson's chance. Hopefully in season 5, we can win it all now. We've got it all to play for. We want to win the Premier League. We want to win the Champions League. We want Ferguson to win the Player of the Season and the Golden Boot. Fingers crossed it can all happen in season 5. I actually have a bit of faith it could. Looking at this team here, end of season 4, the 11 is an absolute joke. So the most important thing now for me is to improve that depth. We're probably going to look for a very good midfielder to bring in, help the midfield depth, and then a very good centre-back to come in as backup to Vuskovic and Jouch would be very, very, like I said, a very solid centre-back. And then Evan Ferguson needs a solid backup as he can't do it all for us up top. He will need to be rotated as we play in, 4 different competitions going into next season. So a backup striker, backup midfielder and backup centre-back as the targets going into Season 5. So the first signing we have brought in is that very solid backup centre-back, Joel Ordonez. He'll come in. He's a very good player, good enough probably to start for most teams in the league without a doubt. But he'll come in, he'll be a backup to Jouch and Vuskovic in case one gets injured or, we need to rotate as we're playing in so many competitions in Season 5. And then following Ordonez is Kefren Turam coming in, backup to Baleba and Kamara. He'll come in, provide that depth. Of course, like I said, we need it desperately. He's a very, very good player to have as backup. Hopefully, boosting the squad depth like this can see the team win the league and Champions League. And then the third and final signing, the backup to Evan Ferguson, is Brian Brobbey. He'll come in if Ferguson gets an injury or needs rest in any, little cup games, whatever. Brobbey will come in, fill in. He'll be the starting striker in any cup games you'd imagine. And then that should help Ferguson be fresh for the big games, which we're desperately going to need if we are to win the Prem and Champions League. Here is the transfer history, Season 5, the last season. Turam coming in. Svoboda has left Estrella Praia. Ordonez in from Club Brugge. Costales has left. Buonanotte has left. And Brobbey has come in from Sunderland. Here is the starting 11, Season 5. Evan Ferguson up top, 90 rated. Minter, 87 outright with Gertz 92 out left. Vanna, Kamara, Baleba, the midfield three with Jouch and Vuskovic, a ridiculous centre-back partnership with Rico Lewis and Joao Hato, our fullbacks, with Verbruggen being the goalkeeper. Here is what the bench is looking like, and then the reserves as well. Now, if I'm looking at this team, I genuinely think this team can win the league. I genuinely do. I'm looking at that centre-back partnership. I'm looking at that front three. I'm looking at that midfield, and even the fullbacks. Everywhere is so solid. The bench is solid. This team is a joke. We're about to simulate Season 5. There's 1 goal. No, I've lied. There's 2. No, I've lied again. There's 3 goals. We want to win the Premier League. We want to win the Champions League. And we want Ferguson to win the Golden Boot and Premier League Player of the Season. So that's not even 3. It's 4 goals. Hopefully, we can achieve all in this last season. We have reached the end of Season 5. We did not win the Premier League. We didn't get near it. Somehow did worse than in Season 3 and 4. Let me know how this team that you just seen then, how they haven't won the Premier League or at least got close to it. And how has it done worse than the previous 2 seasons? Season 5 with Brighton, we've finished 4th in the league. So that's one of the objectives failed. Hopefully now we look at the Champions League and Ferguson and we can at least tick some off. In terms of the FA Cup, we were close against winning it again, but we lost in the semis to Man United. And then the Carabao Cup, Newcastle were winners to Man City. And once again, I haven't shown the Champions League graphic because I haven't got a screenshot of it. But I'm going to tell you, we were once again absolutely dreadful in the Champions League. So bad, it was pointless me showing. But once again, got knocked out in the group stages. In terms of player stats, Ferguson got 33 goals all comps, 91 rated he ends the season. Ends the save. What a player. Gertz got 17 goals. Minter got 14 goals. That front three, by the way, look at them stats. Vanna with 9, Brobbey with 9 as well. Minter got 16 assists. Vanna got 12. Ferguson 11. Götze 11 as well. I mean, Ferguson got 44 goal contributions all comps. Götze got 28 and Minter got 30. And that team didn't win the league or get close to it. We were probably far too reliant on the attack and we were let down everywhere else in the team. But we're going back to that main focus. One of the challenges was to get Ferguson the Golden Boot and Premier League Player of the Season. He, in the league, has got 24 goals and 8 assists. Now, unless Haaland does what Haaland does, he potentially might have won the Golden Boot. We are about to find out as we check now, but 24 could just be enough. There it is. 1 out of the 4 challenges set at least has been completed, even though I really would have wanted to win the team challenges. Ferguson got 24 goals and he is the Golden Boot winner in the last season. So we've managed to at least revive his career. It's a shame we didn't win the Premier Champions League, though, I won't lie. But 24 goals, Golden Boot winner, and 8 assists on top of that. Has he won Player of the Season? We are at the Player of the Season ceremony. Who is the winner? Is it going to be Ferguson? It will. Okay, so at least, and this isn't really positive, but at least we won Ferguson, the Golden Boot, and Player of the Season. The most important thing was winning the Premier Champions League, and we failed that. We failed the team rebuild, but at least we managed to rebuild Evan Ferguson's individual career. I'm coping here, but I'll take what I can get. I did say that was 2 of the goals, and we have at least managed to do that. The team we end on: Ferguson, Götze, Vanna, Minter, Baleba, Kamara, Philogene, Hato, Jouch, Vuskovic, Verbruggen. To clarify, that wasn't the formation we played throughout the season. This is just to show the team in a different way the amount of good attackers we have. Yeah, that team not winning the league is baffling to me. It is so stacked, such a good team. Of course, like I said, Thuram, etc., they weren't on the reserves, they were on the bench. But yeah, that team not winning the league is baffling to me. Didn't do well in the Champions League either, but at least I guess Evan Ferguson won the Golden Boot and Premier League Player of the Season. But this team should have achieved so much more. There it is. That is the end of the rebuild with Brighton, the 5-year rebuild. We didn't win the Premier League. We didn't win the Champions League, which were the 2 goals we really wanted for the team. But at least we managed, I guess, to revive Evan Ferguson's career. But that's another rebuild that I have failed. It cannot go on like this. I keep on failing these rebuilds. I'm building very good teams in my eyes, but somehow they're just not winning the league or winning the Champions League. But if you did enjoy this Brighton rebuild, please make sure you do like and subscribe. The support lately has been crazy. Thank you guys so much. It's the end of that rebuild. We'll be back for the next one, trying our best to actually succeed that time. But once again, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.